Okay, this is the new way I'm going to do review requests for the Wii. Here we go. Behold, the magical chicken. This magical chicken will determine which review request for the Wii I will do next. And in my hands I have all the requests right now for the Wii, except for Counterforce by 100RY1000 and Rune Factory Frontier by Christy78967. I can't do those because my video store doesn't have them. Now, if my pawn shops, if they have them, I'll see what I can do. But until then, please make a new request. So, thank you. Anyway, here we go. We take the magical chicken, and we go. Woo! Magical chicken dust. Right. There you go. Here, come here. See? I'm not cheating, just swirling them around. Okay? And we have one. We have Spider-Man, Web of Shadows by Clay0559. Oh. There we go. Put this one aside. The magical chicken on top. Set them aside. Okay. Now, for GameCube games, I'm already going to do all the games that I have for the GameCube right now, regardless of requests. So, if I post a video for either GameCube or Wii, and you don't see me say this game was requested by such and such, that just means I was already going to do the game regardless of request. So, and if you see your game get picked last, but you requested it first, oh well, that's just how life goes.
It's time for the Spider-Man Web of Shadows review for the Wii. Now, the last Spider-Man game I played was Spider-Man 2 for the GameCube. I didn't care for that game too much because, honestly, I can't really remember. I think it was the monotonous gameplay and mediocre controls. What's ironic is, Spider-Man is my favorite superhero, and what's even more ironic, I hate spiders. Ugh! Go away, evil fiends of Satan! Sorry, okay, back to Web of Shadows. The story starts out with you, Spider-Man, in the tutorial, which is actually part of the main game. It will teach you the basics on how to fight your enemies and how to swing on your web. After the tutorial, the game sends you back 4 days into the past, where your real journey begins. This story is not based off of any movie, but is set in a time after Spider-Man 3. Anyway, Mary Jane is hurt, and you have to escort her to the hospital. Once you arrive, you get mixed up in the middle of a gang fight, where you meet up with Luke Cage, also known as Power Man. Cage is your checkpoint, where he will give you your main quests along with optional quests, and he will even teach you new ways of how to use your Spidey powers. I really like this a lot. The new fighting techniques he teaches you do come in handy a lot. The first main part of the game is to go out on quests and restore peace to the streets by fighting off the gang wars. After so many have been taken care of, Cage wants Spider-Man to get the 2 gang leaders to call a truce. After completing that mission, Spider-Man heads off to go see Kingpin. This is as far as I will go into the story. The graphics for this game are okay. I know this is the Wii version, and that the 360s and the PS3 versions look 20 times better, but still. I think they could have done just a little better. The graphics look like an old GameCube game. The cutscenes look better, but it doesn't really make up for them. With this game, you can switch between Spider-Man's red and blue or black suit at any time in the game. Each suit has its own special abilities and attacks, so it's not just a different color of paint. Also, the 2 suits have different attributes to them. With the red and blue suit, Spider-Man is faster, but weaker, and with the black suit, he is stronger, but slower. Now, I may be old-fashioned, but I like using Spider-Man's red suit more than his black one. Now, I did like both suits, but I felt I performed better in his original one. There are also other secret suits you can obtain by completing certain tasks. Throughout the game, you'll gain experience which you can use at any time to upgrade your attacks for either your red and blue or black suit. So whichever one you use more, you'll want to upgrade the attacks for that suit more than the other one. The controls can be a little tricky to deal with at first, but after about 10 to 20 minutes of using them, I think you'll find that they work very well. To swing your web from building to building, jerk the Wiimote either up or down. Use A to jump, B to attack, and C plus Z to shield. Those are the basic controls, but as you continue to upgrade your attacks for either suit, the controls can become more complicated, but not in a bad way. I love the visuals for the attacks. They look so cool when you pull them off. The frame rate stays with you, so there's no slowdown when performing these awesome attacks. Now, the camera was good, but it could get frustrating at times. I wish that the developers had made it so that most of the time, the camera follows where Spider-Man is looking. Instead, you have to manually correct the angle yourself, using the directional pad on the Wiimote. The camera could also get frustrating when you're climbing up a wall. Sometimes it would move around in different angles very fast, to the point where I got a little nauseous. Back to the side quests. There are a lot of them. When I first started playing the main part of the game, after about an hour of playing, I realized I was just completing the side quest. It was a bittersweet moment because I enjoyed obtaining all that experience, but I really wanted to complete the main game. As you play your way through the game, you will meet familiar characters relating not only to the Spider-Man world, but the Marvel universe as well, such characters as Wolverine from X-Men. At some points, the game will go into an automatic fight mode, just like it did in Star Wars: The Force Unleashed, where your character will attack your enemy as long as you perform the correct motions with the Wiimote. But in this game, it was harder to pull them off, because sometimes you couldn't tell what the game wanted you to do. Probably one of the most noticeable features in this game is that you could choose to play as good or evil. At some points in the story, the game will let you pick which side you want to end the mission in. This gives the game a lot of replayability, because there are multiple endings to each mission. Sound a lot like Fable, doesn't it? There are many spider-shaped medallions just littered throughout the game. They're everywhere! Once you collect enough, Spider-Man will level up in more health, a bigger special meter bar, and be able to swing faster on his web. Along with mediocre graphics and a somewhat frustrating camera, another downside I found was that the game would get very repetitious, to the point where it got boring. But I'm happy to say that the majority of the game was not like this. Spider-Man: Web of Shadows is a very good game. The controls are well balanced, it is extremely fun to swing from building to building, the attacks are very fun to pull off, and they look really cool. The only downsides that I found were that the graphics looked outdated, the camera was a bit difficult to deal with, and the gameplay can become very monotonous really fast. But overall, this game was very fun to play, so much that I think this will be my next Wii purchase. This game gets a 3.75 out of 5 with the title of Awesome.